Hi, and welcome back to the Blab.Cafe. This is Blab.Cafe number 70. This is Tech Toot. This is all about your questions. I do have some pre-made questions that I'm going to go through. Basically because I've been seeing a lot of people putting out what I would consider very subpar courses, and they're charging a lot of money for them. And it's quite frankly getting to be irritating. It shouldn't cost you a lot to get your Blab going, and I'm going to show you why. So sit tight and we'll get started. I'm going to do a little bit of screen sharing, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go through equipment. I'm going to go through sound setup, everything you need to do to get a Blab going, even the setup of the Blab itself. This is going to be for a pretty long haul. So you're going to either have to have patience, or you're going to want to jump in at some point in time. But while I'm doing screen sharing, I have to do that on my own with just one person, which is me, in the room, because when you see the playback, you'll be able to see it on a much fuller screen and it'll look much better. So I'm just going to acknowledge the people that are here right now. So right now we've got Bruce and Alicia. Nice to see you again. So thanks for joining. I like to have static content, but for the most part, I have what I will show you is I'll do a few screen shares and things. So right here, I'll give you an idea. I have a basic. This is a tripod that is about. You can get them down to around 12 to 14 inches tall, and they'll extend out to about 3 or 4 feet tall. So you want to get yourself a nice little tripod because they're really handy to use in a lot of different locations. Then you want to get yourself a good camera, and one that I've been using for a long time is a Logitech C920, and that particular camera will pretty much do everything you need it to because it's got a built-in microphone, and that's the microphone that you're hearing me on right now. So for people to go out there and say, oh, you need to have a microphone, you have to have this, you have to have that, they're full of crap. And to be honest, it's really it's really irritating to hear people say that you need to have a microphone. You really don't. If you're doing stuff outdoors and you've got to deal with wind issues and things like that, or if you're in a noisy location, you might consider it. But for the most part, if you're in a fairly quiet room, everything is, okay, then you don't really need to go out and invest in a thing. The tripod is a standard tripod. This one here happens to be one that's made by Frodo, I believe. But you don't need to buy an expensive one. You can get them on eBay for as little as like 20 bucks and for as much as like 200. So I mean, there's a huge price range. This is a Logitech C920. It runs HD. The Logitech C615 also runs with HD capability, and it's got a really good microphone in it as well. And then you've got what I use, which is very convenient for me, is a little wireless keyboard and mouse. Now, the reason I use the wireless keyboard and mouse is because I have to have the laptop far enough away from me where it's just out of my reach. Does having a Mac versus a PC difference products you're mentioning? Yeah, I use only PC products. Yeah. I only use PC products, and I have been using PC products my whole career. That's my preference. It's not. I'm not sitting here, macking on Mac. I'm not doing any hating on any other equipment. It's just that what I learned to use in the first place, the very first beginning of YouTube, my work on YouTube, was either a standalone camera like a Sony Handycam, or I went right over to the Logitech camera because I was doing so much static work that I wanted to be right in front of it. So this is another example. This is a standard little inexpensive, I think this is a Hama, H-A-M-A tripod. It's very standard, and you can see that it's not very big. It goes from like 14 inches up to about, I don't know, 36 or 40 inches, something like that. But this one's mounted with a Logitech C615. This one also has a built-in microphone. And so the nice thing about this is you've got on this one and on the C920 that you're seeing me in now, it's got a nice little USB stick that just sticks right into the side of your laptop. And it gives you the capability. Yeah, Hangout tripod is 14 inches to 36 inches. Wow, this is great. This is like great having all the input from the sidebar. So basically, this cable on this particular camera is about 36 inches long as well. So what that does, what it enables you to do is, say for example, you have a room where you have a nice big bay window or some windows coming in where there's light blasting through those windows. Most people think that they want to have that light coming in over their shoulder, and that's absolutely wrong. I've seen so many people try to set up that way, and then you just look like a silhouette and the light's just blasting by you. I don't know how many people know Jamie Metzner, but there's a lot of times when his wheelchair is parked over by his kitchen window, I believe, and he's got a lot of light blasting right in over his shoulder, and it just washes out his face. You can't see his face. So that's one of the things that I would say always is to try to set up your setup. So I'm just going to do this not in perspective, but I'm just going to try to do it so you can get an idea of my setup. Tripod here, camera here, little cable, and me. So I'm going to show you this here in a second. Okay, so I hope this is not too cryptic for you. Yeah, this is cool. This is like caveman writing. But basically, you've got the sun coming in through the window. You've got the sun coming through the window. I got my laptop here, and I got my tripod here, and I'm sitting here. And this is how it's been from the beginning of time, folks. So that's what you want. You want the sun coming over the backside of your laptop, over the backside of that, and right to you. And if you'll notice something else, that wherever you set your camera, you want your camera to be at about chin level from the subject, from you. So right now, my camera is literally at my chin level. So now that when I'm looking at it, when I'm looking directly into it instead of the monitor's here, the camera's there, you see that my eyes don't have to drift too far. I mean, there's times when I'm looking over at the comments or doing something like that, or if I'm looking at a different tab altogether, that's a whole different setup. But for the most part, this is going to be ideal for you in most applications. So you got your sun here, your laptop here, your tripod here, and your chair and you here. Really simple, really easy to do, and it's something that will, save you tons of time when you're trying to set up and where you're looking. Just remember those kind of rules. So I'm going to take a look at the lighting setup tips. Yeah, lighting over your shoulder really washes you out. I have no backlighting whatsoever. Everything that you see is from two standard incandescent bulbs, and they are like what you would call right light. So when you go to like your hardware store, Home Depot or wherever, you just want to look for light that puts out right light or white light, because you'll see some of these fluorescent bulbs, even though they're energy saving, what they'll do is they'll flicker, and they just flicker at just the right what's the word, rhythm? No, right at the right wave that the camera can pick it up. And so that's a little bit frustrating when you watch a playback and you go, wait a minute, why is the flickering going on? And it's usually from a fluorescent bulb. So you have an issue with yellowing when you record. Yeah, I did that once too. I had a light bouncing off of my ceiling, and my ceiling is like natural pine, and it's got this yellow tone to it. So the light was bouncing off that and hitting me, and I was really coming. It was really toned down as a yellow. So you might want to look around for different lighting sources to make sure that you're okay. And right now it's pitch black outside. It's what time? 6 o'clock in the evening in Denmark, and it's really dark outside. So let's see. Does anyone want to jump in right now? Well, we got like a little lull, because what I was going to go into next was actual setup of a Blab, and I'm going to have to do some more screen sharing for that as well. So I'm sure, let me get a 1 or a 2 for those people who have set up a Blab from scratch. Give me a 1. For those people who have not set up a Blab from scratch, give me a 2. Oh, we got some pros in here. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so for those of you who have had pretty much a glitch-free Blab, let me see a show of hands. 1s or 2s, glitch-free. Yeah. It's no such thing. Yeah. I've had some blabs. I've had some blub ups. I've had some blabs that have gone glitch-free. And it's yeah, kind of like a wave to the Blab gods, but it's usually because everybody that comes into the Blab is usually hardwired, or they've had a really solid connection. But usually there's like that little drop in the sound volume. And one of the things that you'll hear when you hear somebody that starts to echo or something, now you have to remember that when I showed you my setup, my what do they call these? Not lithographs. You know what they do in the caveman drawings. What are they called? Somebody's got to know that word. But anyways, when you have this setup, you got to remember that I am about 5. Right now, I'm actually about 5 feet away from the camera. So whatever audio it's picking up from me, it's got some time for it to bounce off of anything else. So it's a really cool setup. I've really never had any kind of glitches with it. Of course, I do have those people that come in and they have their volumes cranked up super high or something, or they might have their mobile phone turned on and they have the same app opened. So then you'll get this really nasty echoing. And that's what was going on last night. And the girl didn't realize it until later. But anyways, it happens. But anyways, what I was going to get to, /Q, then space, then stuff. Yeah. I had some really good ones, but Blab is still in beta. You could minimize all the possibilities. Yeah. But you can't blab it. You can't blame it on beta, because like there's been apps that have been in beta for years. I think YouTube, they said that YouTube was in beta for like 2 years. So is there coaching for your issue? Yeah. Close, put the /Q right next to each other. Or there's like a little, let me do a screenshot and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I do screen sharing all the time with ManyCam. That's my go-to tool because it's very simple to use, and it was really inexpensive. It was like 20 bucks. So over here on the chat bar, some of you have been saying stuff about questions. If you hover over this little pencil right here and click on it, you'll get this menu that pops up. And if you click here, question, bam. Then you click here, add a space, and then you just start typing. Let's see, what time is it? Okay. And then press enter, and then it'll show up with that little blue thing. So, and that's pretty cool because you've got all those options. You can, if you're in the Blab, you can change the topic, you can do a shoulder shrug, notify, and then if you want to find somebody that's in the Blab, you just back this off and you let's see, shift and then at, and you come up with a whole list of whoever's in the Blab. So that's a pretty handy tool to know also. So there I am. Here's all of you. And that's pretty cool. You just click on any one of those names and then you could send them a message directly. So that's just something that's a handy little shortcut. Okay. Then I want to get over here. If you would all please just hit that tweet button. I'd appreciate it. It really helps with the sponsors. I'm just kidding. I have no sponsors. Not yet anyways. Okay. So yeah, if you could hit that tweet button, I'd really appreciate it, or Facebook button. But now here is where you're basically starting and stopping your recording. The nice thing about Blab is it allows you to actually start and stop the recording anytime you want. You can just be in a conversation, and if you feel like the conversation's going no place, you can click pause and just let all that chaff go by. But if you're really busy and you don't remember, if you think you're not going to remember to, like today, I figured, well, it's going to be busy because I have a lot of topics to cover in a short period of time. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit record and let it run. So, but now if I want to answer a question and you have an empty seat, you just click here, answer question. And that question will populate the empty seat. So that's populating the empty seat. So it's a pretty cool little slick tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get out of screen share real quick. So isn't there a way to ask for Blab help to join when we're having tech issues? Yeah, you can just click on @help and somebody will come running. Yeah, that's all you needed to do, just @help, and somebody like Jason or one of the other tech people will jump in and help you out. So that answers that question. So then you click on the X up in the corner and that eliminates it. And then you want to come back over to the box. If it's still there, you can choose to do two things. Let's see, I'm going to move this over again. You can choose to do two things. You can either pin it again and it'll take it right back up to that thing, up to that window. Click it out. But if you want to exit out for good and you've already answered it, you just click it out here and then it'll remove it from your list. And then what time is it? Yes, we know what time it is. White or yellow lighting? Yes, I always go for white. Will you post the names of each product you mention? Well, I'm recording this, so you will be able to watch the replay here, and you will also be able to watch the replay over on YouTube. So I hope that clears your question up. Let's see, equipment and internet connections. Yeah, like I said, it's really, really important at any time that you're using any kind of equipment to try to get the best connection you can with, with wire, which means actually going over and plugging your cable into your modem, and then plugging it directly into your laptop. And it's easy enough. Basically, you've got a LAN cable that goes directly into your laptop, and then that way you don't have any kind of issues. And make sure that you have a power cable connected to your laptop, because I've been in Blabs where person's sitting there talking and all of a sudden they're going, oh, wait a minute, I got to get my cable. I don't have a cable for my power, and the battery's going low on the laptop, and you're thinking, wow, these batteries go for a long time. But some people blab for a long time, so it's also always a good idea to keep that connected. Is there a special wire for that? Yeah, you can go to your local hardware stores, and they all have a section in their electronics and communications section that will have all of the LAN cables and things like that. If you're going to go out and invest in this particular laptop, this HP, is about 5 months old. So it's got an i5 processor in it, and that keeps up with all the streaming video and everything. And it also has like about 1 terabyte of memory, but that's because I got as much memory as I could, because I know that I download a lot of videos. So that's just one of the reasons I went for a big memory package and a fast processor. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to these questions. Okay, do you Do either of you have or use sponsorship or assume my cable provider gave me one? I have no idea what that means. Have or use sponsorship or assume my cable provider gave me one. I'm really not sure what that means, Shannon. So I'm going to clear this one out and post this question. If there's someone in the room that can actually answer that for me. Okay. Yeah, because have or use sponsorship or assume my cable provider gave me one. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that means. So sorry, I can't answer that quite correctly. Sponsorship of previous Blab queue. Okay. Okay. Latte Davis, I think you got it. Okay, cool. To type one, questions. Does having a VAT make the difference with products you're mentioning? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have people that tell me that they have a lot of luck with Macs, and then they have those little glitchy problems where certain software works with them and some works better with PC. So I've just always been a PC user. Now here's a list of that equipment that this is the equipment that I use. So basically you've got a hardwired HP laptop with an i5 processor, a tripod that can go from 14 inches to 36 inches, give or take, and a Logitech C920 webcam, and a wireless keyboard and mouse. And the wireless keyboard and mouse is really handy because I'll show you what I can do with that. Now I've been doing this for a while, but the wireless keyboard and mouse, see there's the wireless mouse that has a little dongle that comes with it, and you stick that into one of the other USB ports on your laptop, and this is a match set. So this wireless keyboard and wireless mouse come together in a pack, and you can get them from Logitech, and this one happens to be from I don't know, oh, this is another company, Rapoo makes this one, but it's really stylish with a stainless steel. But it doesn't really matter. Any type of wireless keyboard is going to be cool. Logitech really makes one that I kind of want now because they've got one that's got like a silicone pad over the keys. So if you spill your coffee, it's not a big deal. But it is cool because what it does is it allows you to type, and people can't hear you dancing on your keyboard when you're in the middle of a blab. So the wireless mouse and wireless keyboard allows me to sit and type messages into the chat bar when I'm like 5 feet away or 6 feet away from my laptop. So I wouldn't be able to reach my laptop. And if I did, you'd see people like trying to reach up there and do that. So for those people who keep telling you got to have a microphone, you got to have earphones, you got to have earphones that you look like a helicopter pilot, they're full of crap. You don't see people that are on the news sitting there talking to you with these giant microphones in the face because it looks ridiculous. You want to be looking like you're sitting in your living room, which I am. And yeah, that's what you want to do. One of the things that I would say though too is that if you're in a room that does not have any like carpeting on the floor, it's like a really bare room with hard floors, hard walls and everything, you might want to consider moving your whole setup to a room that does have some carpeting and stuff on the floors, because it makes a big difference on acoustic sounds and stuff that are bouncing off the walls and things. So that covered. Is there any questions? It's the Howard Stern look of video. Yeah. And there's people that are doing blabs, but they're also like, they're hardcore podcasters. So they want a really cool thing. But the thing that I noticed is like, if I'm saying my S's and my T's and my P's, it doesn't matter that because I'm so far away from this thing that it doesn't those sounds are not really that harsh. So I don't need all those, you know, big what do you call them, spit guards and all that other crap. And so what I'm basically trying to say is put your system together smart, and you'll have much more luck when it comes to actually coming up with a good end product. That's what you're really after anyways. The way you look is, you know, having a big, huge blue Yeti or something in front of you you might think that that gives you confidence and everything, but at the same time, looking like a professional will also give you more confidence. And I don't know any professionals that have big blue Yetis in front of them. Do you put earbuds in when you have another person in the seat? No, never. I never use earbuds. I never use headphones. Never use any of that stuff. Never use a microphone. The Logitech company would not invest millions of dollars into what do you call it, R&D to build these cameras and then give you a crappy microphone. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. They're designing this equipment to use in a conference situation. So that's why I'm thinking, you know, when these people are saying, oh, you got to have a microphone, you got to have headphones, they're just absolutely wrong. And no echo. Yeah. Like I said, too, sometimes you'll get that little odd echo. And what it is most of the time it's in the software, and it's something to do with the syncing. Something gets out of sync, you start getting an echo. All you have to do is just stop talking and then start talking again and see if you still have the echo. If you still have the echo, it could be that you have another tab open. It could be that somebody else has another tab open. You know, there could be other reasons behind that. It could be that somebody's sound volume is cranked way up on their computer. So let me show you how to check that as well. Okay, so here on my laptop, I'm running, what do you call it? I'm running a basic Windows 8 program. And I come over here, and this is what my bar looks like. So I've got that little speaker down there, and you click on that, it opens up, and it'll show you this little graph on how much volume you have. Oops, let me see if I can get it to show up. There we go. So on this little mixer, you have the mixer situation, and many times you'll go in here and you'll find that this is cranked way up past halfway mark. That'll make huge problems for you. So that's something you have to go in and check while you're working on it. So then the next thing you want to do is let's see, hit that tweet button right there. Just kidding. Hi Eileen, how you doing? Okay, so the next thing I wanted to say too was let's see if there's any questions on equipment or types of equipment. Windows 8. Yeah, I'm just using Windows 8. I have been for a long time, and I've got Chrome as my browser. And that's just the way it's been set up for a really long time, and I've really never had any kind of issues with it. So the next thing, okay, so everyone's got that. You've got the equipment that you're using. Now to go in and actually do an actual setup of a Blab. Yeah, I love Chrome too. I love it on my Chrome on that old Buick Roadmaster too. What platform do you use to screen share? Now I can either talk about that. Which do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to talk about ManyCam, or do you want me to talk about how to set up a Blab? Because most of you already know how to set up and start a Blab. The next thing I could talk about is ManyCam, because that's what I use to do this right here, and this little whoop-de-doo there. So one for yes for ManyCam. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen share, and you are going to see, you're basically going to see this, the ManyCam interface, what I would see. So now when I click here, now you're seeing the screen because I can move it around. But now I'm just going to bring you out to ManyCam so you can see what I see. Now this is the magic behind the curtain, so to speak. So because this looks kind of rough, because you've got this too much stuff going on here in this screen, I'm going to try to shrink this down so more of you can see the details. Okay, so up here you have what you would consider, there's your ManyCam. This is the interface. So this is your video controls, effects, gallery, and connections. You don't have to worry about any of these things because what you want to do is you want to set up your video. In most cases, that's the only one you're going to need to use for a long time until you get a little more proficient at it. Then you want to come down here and you can see that this particular version, I have the use of four different screens. So this is like a $20 version, and that means that I can click here, I can click here, and I can click here. So when it's not in screen share mode, I can click on those and just pop from one to another. So you can see I'm on that camera, that camera, that camera. Now I'm back to transition to the screen share. Okay, how do you spell ManyCam? It's ManyCam, just one M. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here and show you where you can do all kinds of stuff like text, insetting text and things like that. You can record even videos within ManyCam, which is really cool because even if you have to do like a project that's off air, you can do that here as well. So this is your control for starting and stopping video if you want to record something offline. If you want to take a picture, you just click over here and you'll be able to take a picture, but we're in video mode right now, so we can't be taking any pictures or doing any of that stuff right now. So if there's something like text, first of all, you want to set up your image. I'm going to have to move this up and change this over to image. So your interface is really simple. You've got a few things to think about. You've got your image, you've got your resolution, and you can see mine is set for 720p, and that's because it just works the best. It gives you the best picture quality. Even though it's a little truncated and shorter, it still looks much better. You've got picture zoom, so you can zoom in and out. Pretty sweet. And then you can do things with audio. Basically what you're doing is you're just, in your first setup, you just want to go in and actually set up your audio to make sure that it's picking up the right microphone. Let's see, now it's not, when I do this, when I'm in the middle of a screen share, it will not allow me to switch from different screens. There, I'm just going to bring it down. I just clicked over here on the audio button. So here you've basically got this. This is something that says add microphone. And it's really simple. You just add this, you just click this, and it'll give you a drop-down menu. Let me see if I can get it to do it. It'll give you a drop-down menu that looks like that. Oh, it's not going to stay there. But basically what it does is it gives you the option to choose which microphone that you want to use. And in this case, it's the Logitech C920 camera or microphone. So, okay, now we get into something else, which would be text. Now you can come in here and pretty much just start typing anything you want. That's the field that you need to type in. But if I just clicked on this and I clicked over here where it says enable text, you would see a really fine, small little text. And the problem with that is it's almost invisible because it's so tiny. But you would see it on that screen. But so now what you need to do is you need to go in here and you need to change the font size. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see, I'm going to change this to pump it up to about 20. Hit normal. Don't know which kind. Let's see. I like this one. And I'm going to change the font color to white. Let's see if you can see that. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. And then you click OK. And I know this is hard for all of you because you're basically seeing this huge what do you call it, infinity screen, and that's really annoying. But here, then you would just come here and it says hello and welcome. You just come here and click enable text. And I got to move this up again, enable the text. Whoops, whoops, there we go. And I need to actually move this so it can get adjusted and work. There we go. So now you can see that that says hello and welcome right there. Then you can actually go up and you can move it around the screen where you need to. Yeah, that's really hard to see, isn't it? Sorry about that. So what I'll do is I'll just change the color of the text. Go for black. Now that's got some contrast to it. You should be able to see that. Now you can see it, yeah. Hello and welcome. So then you can move it around. You can give it some scrolling. So you just click this little menu, right to left, and it'll start scrolling across the screen for you. So it's really, really simple, and it's really straightforward. And the nice thing about it is you can use this offline, and you could play around with it for hours, and you don't have to worry about messing anything up. You don't have to worry about deleting anything or anything like that. You just, switch things around, see what it does, and if you don't like something, change it. So, okay. But that's what the ManyCam interface looks like. Really simple. You can actually grab this and move it around on your screen, which is pretty handy if you need to. You've got the capability of doing that. So what I'm going to do is do a transition to that camera. I'm going to bring this down. Let's see. Get back here to this camera. Howdy. Okay, so if there's any other questions, you missed it. Well, I'm recording this, so you'll be able to watch the recording. The thing is with the ManyCam is because it's inexpensive, it's really, really what I would consider, it's a really easy tool to get to learn to use because it's so intuitive. All of the effects, all of the stuff, like the transitions. Like if you pay, I think it's like $25 to $30 now. I think they raised their price a little bit. But you'll get 4 video feeds. So if you needed to do a transition, you could just transition to something. So for example, if I wanted to, I could actually, let me see, if everyone would do me a favor and tweet this out, I appreciate it. Let me see. Let's see if I can get this to go over there. Anybody could hit that tweet button, I'd really appreciate it. See, now I'm just playing around with that. But anyways, you get the message. It's a pretty handy tool, and I really like it. But what I was going to say is that with all of these different tools and equipment, it does take practice. You just have to get used to, using it and comfortable with using it. Another thing I was going to say about ManyCam is it allows you to add IP cameras. So here is the street right around the corner from my house. I'm going to have to disable that text because that looks kind of funny there. So that's just an example of what you can use. You can find this camera online and you can connect to it through ManyCam, and you can actually show it on your feed during some kind of a show. If you wanted to show like IP cameras, you could do it. So it's just one of the versatilities of it. Let's see. Blank images. Let's see, we could change it to this. If you needed to, for some reason, you needed to just have a blank image, you could do your imaging. You could grab some image like that. Let's see, want to do this. You could write on there with ManyCam. So, and I'm doing this with my mouse. If I had a pen, I could do a little bit more, a little cleaner drawing. So yeah, this is ManyCam. Manny. So yeah, my handwriting is terrible with a mouse. So anyways, you get the idea. You get the idea. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with it when you need to. The one thing that you can do, one other thing too that you can do with it is you can add video from an outside source. So if you have a videotape that's in your computer or over on YouTube, you grab the file and you upload it to one of your screens. And let me see, I'll just do that for you real quick here so you can see that it actually works and I'm not just blowing smoke. Let's see, here's a video. So I'll grab this one. And let's see, I'm going to show you, oh, this is my intro video. So then that way you know that this is how I do it, if you're ever wondering. So that's a video that I pre-made, and it's in my computer. And basically what I do is I use that for my intro and my outro. But it's basically a file that sits on my computer. And it's really that simple. Transitions are simple because I'm just using a mouse and I'm clicking on those different screens. So when you saw those 4 little screens, that's all I'm doing is I'm just clicking here, clicking here, clicking here, and clicking here. But in the meantime, if I'm having a conversation with someone and they want to show me their website, for example, all I have to do is go and grab the URL for the video. While they're sitting there chatting, I'll go and grab the video URL, and then I'll stick it in a box from YouTube. And then I'll just pop it in there and then let it play. And then I'll just transition over to it. So that's how I do that. Let's see, anything else? Any other questions? Is there anything that you want me to talk about? So I've covered equipment, setup, lighting, and then also ManyCam. But I just want everyone to know that before you go out and spend money on learning how to start and run and operate a Blab, just don't. Because you shouldn't have to spend money on something that's free. That's my belief in a lot of things. These tools are given to us to use, and they shouldn't be something. It's like you go to the telephone and you pick up your telephone and you dial. The old days you were able to just, you pay for your services and you go and you dial a number. That's the way video is coming. In the next few years, it'll be so simple that you'll just be able to walk in, turn on your computer, and just say, start a conversation with, I don't know, let me get something, Durham Skywriter. If I just said Durham Skywriter to my computer, it should be able to pick up a video conference line just like that. And that's where we're headed. But, that's still a little ways away. So anyways, is there any other questions or anything that I didn't cover? How come everyone on Blab sounds like they've been breathing helium? Funny question. What platform do you use for screen sharing? That is ManyCam. What platform do you use for screen sharing? ManyCam is the answer to that question. You put earbuds in when you have another person in the seat with you. No, I don't. How do you spell that? M-A-N. Is it M-A-N-N-Y? I think it's M-A-N-Y. As in many. I have many coins in my pocket. And then, so just for you that don't know, this is on the record. And the screen sharing means that you can come back and review all of this material. So if there's something where you came in a little bit late and you thought, well, I missed that part, I'm not going to look at it. This video will be posted along with all of my other videos over on YouTube. And I will give you a link for that. If you just give me a second, I'll grab that link to that video page. Or you can go over and look at it on Blab.Cafe. And that's Blab.Cafe is a standalone website that's designed for all of you folks that are talking to me about your businesses. You will be able to come in, pitch your business, and I will post it over there on Blab.Cafe as well. And the reason I'm doing that is for promotion for your businesses, not mine. You might have already answered, but let's see, I'm going to just do this. That's the link for my YouTube channel. So if you want to go over there and look at that, you can do that. You might have already answered this, but what's the usual source when you hear terrible feedback on Blabs? If you're hearing terrible feedback, that was easy. Terrible feedback, that's usually from your guests. If you have a terrible guest, you'll have terrible feedback. Stephen is the source for everything Wirecast. Okay. Yeah, I just got Wirecast set up too with Mr. Carinder. So yeah. Actual feedback is usually from a couple of different things. It's usually from somebody's volume being really, really way up, or they're sitting there right next to their laptop or their microphone. So you've got the sound coming in and it's like reverbing. It's just way too close. And that's one of the reasons why I rarely ever have that problem, because all of the microphone is way away from me and it's picking me up fine. So yeah. It's when your sound comes out of your speakers and loops into your mic. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. So the first thing to do is to check your speaker volume levels. Make sure that they're down as low as possible so you can still hear the person, and that should take care of the question. Yeah. There's some people, and I mean, you'll hear this. And the funny thing is when you hear people that are sitting there talking about, they've got all this really amazing equipment. They got the microphones, they've got the earbuds, they've got everything that you would think that you would have to have, and they still get feedback. And it's like, wait a minute, you guys are such pros. Why are you getting feedback? So it still happens even with them. So it's always something to do with the syncing of the sound, not the equipment, because this equipment does fine. You've been listening to me the whole time and there hasn't been anything. So if somebody wants to jump in and try to prove me wrong, you're welcome to. Because everyone has different setups, really. The most important thing is to get people that are coming onto your programs and your Blabs, make sure that try to get them on a wired system, because if they're used to doing periscoping and all that crap, I mean, I see the big names on like Brian Fanzo and Gary Vee and all these guys. They're doing all this stuff on Snapchat and all these other mobile Periscope and all this other stuff. That's great. I mean, if they want to be in front of their audience and they want to be on 24 hours a day, that's cool. This is just the platform that I use that I really like, and that's Blab. This one question right here. How and why do we make video content? How and why? The reason I make video content is because I enjoy it. It's kind of like a hobby, and I like meeting people, and I also like sharing people's content. That's the reason I came up with Blab.Cafe. How to make the video content is up to you. You can be mobile with a standalone camera. You can be offline. You can be online. You could be in the living room. You know, some people do it laying in their beds. That I don't like. And you know that I kick people out when they jump on and they're laying in their bed. I just boot them out, because there's a point in time when you have to think about it and think about what kind of content you're trying to produce. And if the person that's coming on and they're trying to do a pitch about their business, you would think that they would want to put their best foot forward. So that's what my kind of like a ground rule is for me. So let's see. So I'm just going to post this up here. This is your day for how to and how to do that, how to do this. ManyCam Blab, YouTube, embedding videos. Okay, that's one thing I didn't go over. Embedding videos. How many of you have WordPress websites that you'd like to embed a video on? Give me a 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many of you have a WordPress website that you would like to embed a video on so it streams live? 1, okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is one more screen share, and I have to open up another website in the background here. So I'm going to do this. I'm basically going to try to do this so you can see it in the background. Let's see. Okay. See, this is where this comes in handy, because right now I'm on a different tab and I'm typing in something that I need to type in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I'm back. Okay, so now I'm back to where I need to be. So I need to clear this out, and I need to clear that out. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're all set now. I'm going to do one more screen share and show you how to do embedding. Okay, so now here we are. When you go over here to the sidebar here, you will see this little thing here. Obviously, this says tweet, this says Facebook. This is your embed code, and you can do this while you're doing a live show, or you can do it before your live show starts by just grabbing the embed code. And somewhere on your landing page, on your subscriber page, they'll have this little button here that says subscribe. Or I mean embed. Sorry. So if you click on this little button here, it'll open up this tab, and it'll look like this. It says embed code, and you can't mistake it because it's the only one that looks like that. And it's already highlighted. So you just right click and copy. Click off of the page and it'll close. So you've got that copied, and it's in your memory basically. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my website. This is the Blab.Cafe. This is something I've been working on a lot lately. So it's all of the videos are uploaded. So you would want to come up to your, let's see, let me get over here. You want to come up here to your dashboard. Open your dashboard up. And then you're basically needing to find where it is. Now, on mine, I have live pitches. I have a lot of stuff going on here. But for the most part, what you can do is you can come up here and you can go to all pages. And then that way you can find it a different way. So now what I did is I gave my live stream the name live stream. Real simple and easy to find. No confusion there. And it says live stream. So you go here where it says edit, click on that. And then you've got this box basically that is your, this would be your basic box that has all of your code in. So if this was incorrect, which this is actually this is the right content right here. This is all correct. But if it wasn't correct, if it was from like an older show or something, I can just clear all that out and then right click and click paste. And there's that code. There's that embed code. So then you just come over here and let me just shrink this down so you can see it. You come over here to the right side of the page and click update. And it's just that simple with WordPress. And I was like, I'm really loving WordPress. It's just really nice. So you're basically just pasting the code and clicking on update. Easy peasy. Then what you want to do is, if you want to check to see if it's working correctly, you come back up here where it says visit site. Go back here, and where it says on my drop-down menu, it says live stream. Bam. Click right there. And it should load. It takes probably a couple seconds for it to load because we're just loading a new one, even though we didn't need to. So there we are. Hello, welcome to the Dodger Stadium. Thank you very much for coming to the Monster Truck Rally. I love echo. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. Okie dokie. Okay, so now I'm back. Welcome to the Monster Truck Rally. So anyways, that's embedding. It's really that simple. And since that was on record, if you missed any part of that, you'll be able to just hit the rewind button over there on YouTube. You can watch it as well. So I'm free. If anyone wants to jump in, you got any questions or comments, or is the embed procedure the same with your WordPress blog as well? That is basically a WordPress, that right up there where it said blog, that has nothing to do with here and there or there. That's just basically a page name. And for some reason, when I was setting up the page, I wrote blog, and it's not really a blog right there. But anyways, yeah. Anytime you have a place where you can input that code, if you can install code, you can install that particular embed code. It's not a problem. So have we got anyone else that wants to jump in and say hello? And if there's anyone who has not yet come onto the Blab.Cafe and introduced their business or done a business pitch, you're welcome to. Audio Technica ATR 2100 instead, about 50 bucks. There you go again. Let's see. Thanks. So, yeah, if there's any other questions, you're welcome to jump in. I am on air, so just remember that. I'll be able to edit that other stuff out. That's no problem. Is it Road Prouder? Road Prouder? I don't know what that means. Road Podcast. Yeah, we're not doing podcasting. We're doing blabs. There's a big difference. Can you use OBS? Huh? I imagine you can use a lot of tools. No, I just deleted that one because I'm not here to talk about microphones. You can all hear me, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so if there's any other questions or comments or anything else, yeah, you can use OBS. Lots of tools and lots of ways of doing. What's the old thing? There's lots of ways of skinning a cat. That's a nasty, that's a really bad thing. Let's see. I hate that analogy. More than one way to skin a cat. Is it still true that absolutely must use Chrome for blabs? Yeah, I believe so for the most part. Yeah, I know that's what I use all the time, and I have pretty good luck with it so far. No real problems. Robert, let's see. I'm just going to go through and run down the list. SB, the original SBW. Thomas Clark. Robert Lewis. Michael Simpkins. Corinder. Durham Skyrider. Loud Radio. Carol Copeland Thomas, sorry. Bill Rowe, Bruce Himmelblau, and Alicia. Okay, cool. Yo. Yo. Wirecast, no, but OBS, yes. All present and accounted for. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and go off air. Thanks for all of your joining up. What level are you paying for? I don't even know what that question means. Are you talking about for ManyCam? Or are you talking about something else to somebody in the chat bar? I have no idea. Anyways, yeah, thanks for joining. And I am going to do something. Hit the recording. Hit the coffee cup. And then do a transition. Thank you all for joining Blab.Cafe number 70. This is Blab.Cafe number 70, Tech Toot. Your questions about Blab, YouTube, embedding, and ManyCam. That's one of the things that I didn't talk much about was YouTube, but if you'd like to come back for another Tech Toot, I will go into uploading to YouTube. I do it manually, and there's a couple of reasons why I do that manually still. But we'll get that in another Tech Toot. If any of you have any other questions, go ahead and post them on any one of my landing pages or on my Twitter page. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.